Guys, it's Adam, I'm back and it's time for another review, and this is another big one. This is Overwatch Origins Edition on the PlayStation 4. Is it any good? Let's find out. Let's start the review.
The world could always use more heroes.
Kicking things off like we always do with the graphics, and yeah, you can tell that this is a Blizzard game. It looks fantastic. It's so colourful, it's so vibrant, and it's fast and fluid, and it's throwing so much stuff at you. Obviously they've gone for that sort of cartoony aesthetic, but you know, I think it works perfectly. Of course, this is the PS4 version, or the console version, or the Origins Edition, whichever you want to call it. So we're not talking PC specs here. This game isn't running at 4K and 200 frames per second or anything stupid. This is 1080p, 60 frames, and it looks lovely. It performs really, really well. Now, the developers have said that apparently when things get a bit crazy on screen and there's loads of effects going on, loads of things happening at the same time, apparently they scale the resolution back slightly. So on PS4 and Xbox One, it can be known to scale back to maybe 900p when things get a bit crazy. But I haven't noticed anything. And also, that frame rate, those 60 frames, they stay solid the whole way through. This game looks excellent. And now, of course, I can't talk about the graphics without talking about the characters and the maps. The characters have got so much personality and so much individuality with every design, every character, all 21 of them. They've all got something that makes them stand out, and I really like the fact that, like, all their different weapons and their different abilities, their different power-ups, they all give off sort of a different effect, and different particle effects or a different light effect. It looks stunning, and the maps are so well designed. You've got your choke points, you've got your sort of wide open areas. It's just meticulous, and it's what you've come to expect from Blizzard. Fantastic graphical work all the way through this game. Next up is sound, and as always I like to give you guys a little bit of the sound so you can judge for yourselves. Here you go.
Stop me if you've heard this one before. The hunter lays a trap for his prey.
So there's some of the sound for you guys, and it really is that good, and it's Blizzard yet again setting the standard for everybody else. The sound design in this game is superb, starting with the voice acting where each character is individually voice acted, and they've got their own little sort of quirks, their own little quips and it helps bring the characters to life. And you've got the weapons, the devices that are used in the game. They've all got a unique sound which works perfectly. And using somebody like May, for example, where she's got like an ice blaster where she can freeze people, or she can bring up walls of ice, and you get that crack of the ice which just comes through with the sound when you use it, and it's just perfect. The sound design is brilliantly done across the board, and I think you guys can already tell where this review is going. Excellent sound work by Blizzard. Next up is the most important aspect, and that is the gameplay, and I don't know where to start with this game, guys. I just think it's fantastic. I really do. It's so deep, and there's so many characters for you to get through and master. It's just, it's so much fun. It's unreal. As I've said before, this is the new game, the next game from Blizzard, and you're talking about guys who love the games that they make, and they support them so much. Their history, their pedigree, it's all there for anybody to see. They make fantastic games, and Overwatch is not an exception to that. So what you've got basically is squad-based combat. You've got 6 players on each team, and you've got 4 player types that you can pick from: offense, defense, tanks, and support. And there's so much for you to master, and there's so many different ways for you to contribute to the gameplay. As I've said before, you can go in offense, you can pick somebody like Genji and you can just smash your way through things. You can go around slicing people with your sword or throwing your little ninja throwing stars at people. That's great. If you want to play defense, as I previously mentioned, you can pick somebody like Mei, who uses her ice blaster and she can bring up walls to protect her teammates. Great character. With the tanks, I personally like somebody like Winston, who's the big gorilla, and I really like the fact that he has like what's called the Tesla cannon, which fires short range sort of electrical arcs and damages enemies, but can damage multiple enemies at once. And again, he's a fantastic character if you want to play as a tank. And then go into support, and probably the easiest one to explain is somebody like Mercy, who's like a sort of angel type character, and she uses her staff and she can heal characters, but she can also buff her teammates, where she makes them stronger, makes their attacks more dangerous. And you know, that's just me just throwing out 4 characters that I like. But again, there's so much depth. There's 21 characters to get through, and you know, Blizzard have said that there's going to be more characters coming in the future, so the depth of this game is unreal. It's just fantastic. As far as the game modes are concerned, there's nothing massively original here, but everything else makes up for it. You know, with the game modes, you've got Escort, where basically the attackers have to deliver a payload to a different point, the defenders have to stop them. You've got an Assault, where you're taking different points on the map, and you've got a Hybrid, which is a mix of the two, and you've got Control, where again you've got the 2 teams fighting to capture areas. So as far as the game modes are concerned, there isn't a mass amount of originality here, but the general gameplay, the way the game controls, the way that it plays, the aesthetic of it, everything makes these game modes pop, and it makes them stand out. And this is easily one of the best first-person shooters currently available on any platform. And finally, we come down to the verdict, and I've got to say, guys, I think this game is a big deal. Now, I didn't play the beta myself, but I know that the beta did have a combined 10 million players. This game is huge, and it's going to be huge, and I'm hoping that it can sort of break the mainstream, and people will buy this. The same people who buy Call of Duty, you know, millions of copies of Call of Duty every year. I'm hoping those people go out and buy Overwatch. But the difference between the two is that Call of Duty, if you're a new player, if you're new to first-person shooters and new to online gaming, you go into Call of Duty, let's say you go into Infinite Warfare, which is coming out at the end of this year, you will get destroyed, you will get killed time after time after time, and you will lose heart and you will lose interest. The fantastic thing, the best thing for me about Overwatch is that anybody can play this, and anybody can contribute to it and enjoy it, because it's not all about the bullets. It's not all about, you know, your kill-death ratio. You can get loads of points, or even finish as your team's MVP, or the most important player, without firing a single bullet. You can play as a support character and buff your teammates. You can heal teammates, and you get rewarded for it at the end of the match. This is a first-person shooter, or an online shooter, for anyone and for everyone, and I really hope that it sells well on the console, because it deserves to be played by millions of people. For me, it's kind of, it's a cross between sort of Team Fortress 2, which everybody mentions, but I also think it's got that sort of pick up and play aspect that Spaltoon had. You know, Spaltoon is very popular online, you know, to this day. It's still one of the most popular games online for the Wii U. Not that it's got a lot of competition, but Spaltoon, regardless of what you think about Nintendo or the Wii U, it's got that pick up and play aspect where anybody and everybody can enjoy it, and I think Overwatch has got that magic in it as well. So what is the score? Well, I'm kind of a little bit in shock, to be honest with you, because I've already given my first 10 out of 10, and it wasn't that long back, because I gave it to Dirt Rally. That is a fantastic rally game. And Overwatch is my second 10 out of 10. And it's like waiting for a bus. You wait ages for a bus, and then 2 come along at once. This is my second 10 out of 10. As far as online multiplayer games go, this is the pinnacle for me. And not only because it's great for people who've been playing online multiplayer for years and they're looking for something fresh and new, you know, a seasoned first-person shooter online player like myself, but also somebody who is completely new to online shooters. Anybody can pick this game up. The accessibility is fantastic. Graphically, stunning. Sound design, everything. The soundtrack, perfect. The gameplay is immaculate and it's been refined to perfection by Blizzard. And Blizzard's hot streak continues. I thought Diablo 3 on the PS4 and Xbox One, I thought that was a fantastic game. This takes the cake. This is a 10 out of 10 and it's fantastic work yet again from Blizzard. Well done. So there we go, guys, that's the review. It's another 10 out of 10 from me. I absolutely love this game and I highly recommend that you pick it up. It doesn't matter, Xbox One, if you're PS4, if you're PC, doesn't matter, pick it up and fall in love with it like I did. Make sure you like the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you next time.
Come on!